School food is still the weirdest thing on the planet. Like, we looked at radioactive slop and was still like, man, these kids are still going to enjoy this. Alright, so in the first one, I talked about how they gave me a completely rotten orange. This time they did the exact opposite. They gave me like a fully green one. Like, it was not safe to eat. At that point, just give me a potted plant. And remember those switch drinks at like middle school? My middle school can't be the only one that had these weird drinks. It was supposed to be soda, but it really wasn't. It was more like a strawberry was left in carbonated water overnight, and then it was sold to 12-year-olds for $5. Sorry, I got sick, so you're just gonna have to deal with my disgusting voice. And speaking of soda, they had this sparkling water, and it just tasted funky. Like, not bad, just funky, and not funky fresh. It just tasted like really artificial. And people were just chugging that shit. Like, they weren't just gonna spend the next 30 minutes in the bathroom. And there was just nothing in it. Zero sugar, zero fat, zero air, zero liquid, zero bottles, zero you, zero dad. And speaking of zero, one time my friend brought a zero bar. What the hell is a zero bar? And speaking of zero, it's not just the drinks, it's not just the candy, it's the food too. I opened these Cheetos, and they're low-fat Cheetos, and there were like 5 Cheetos in there, and they were like dark orange and more to the consistency of rocks. I'm pretty sure that's what Donatello used to make his sculptures. Of course it's low-fat because there's nothing there. And big surprise, it also tasted really weird. And speaking of Cheetos, Hot Cheeto girls. There's a group of Hot Cheeto girls, and one day they were just screaming, just straight hollering. I wanted to grab a Snapple can and just throw it at one of their heads, just ruin one of their lives. It'd be easy. And the whole time they were clapping. Like, is that how they settle debates? Reminds me of another fight we had at lunch. I was eating lunch, and then I hear this commotion going on behind me. I look behind me, and there was just someone lifting up a chair, ready to slam dunk it on someone. Apparently what had happened was some dude splashed chocolate milk in some girl's face, and then she got so mad she picked up a chair and slammed it into his face. And I'm not sure how to transition into this topic, but one time the school lunch was so bad I had to get a meat and cheese calzone, and that shit tasted like nothing. Like, I'm being serious, it just tasted like flat out nothing. It looked like the factory burger in there. And speaking of burgers, the chicken sandwiches are so dry, but they are still really good. You put some hot sauce on those things, and man, those are good. But it does still taste like you're eating the desert. And speaking of desserts. My school has this soft serve ice cream, and it is so good. Like, it's my second favorite white cream that I've ever had. But the lunch lady always has this look on her face. It's very intimidating. She is like one of the most intimidating people ever, just by looking at her. But you know, the lunch ladies have a pretty easy job, all things considered. You do have to cook a bunch of food, but most of the time they're just pressing buttons. But I guess it's kind of miserable because you're serving up literal disgusting crap. Hey, how's it going, honey? This one will give you shingles, this one will give you pneumonia, and this one will give you a DUI. How does a food give you a DUI? Get out of the crap! But that's kind of all I have to say about school lunches, so see you next time.